forward, the big question is, what if humanity's path wasn't entirely our own? What if it was, subtly guided?
Guided, okay. But not by, invaders or anything. The source mentions guardians of the cosmic balance.
Yeah, guardians. The material describes them less as physical beings showing up and interfering,
right,
and more as, say, cosmic observers, maybe advanced consciousnesses watching things unfold, like cosmic gardeners, you could say?
Gardeners. Interesting. So they're watching civilizations develop, especially at points like ours.
That's the idea presented. They see the whole picture, conflict, division, sure, but also our creativity, our compassion, our potential for growth.
So they see the good, but also the risks, the dangers we pose, mostly to ourselves, right?
Precisely. And the source suggests they understood that direct intervention, well, that would actually stunt our growth, our necessary maturation.
But they still wanted to offer a hand, just not a physical one.
Exactly right. The narrative says their choice was help through inspiration, not control. They looked for a way to plant a seed, principles humanity could kind of discover and build on organically.
And that's where, according to the source, this umodel.org idea comes in. But it's clear this isn't some alien blueprint beamed down, is it?
No, not at all. The source is quite clear. It describes the concept emerging from humanity, an intuitive grasp of principles showing up in different thinkers, innovators, artists, you name it. People starting to converge on ideas like, deep sustainability, global unity, fair resource management, systemic balance, often thinking these were just their own insights.
Which maybe they were, in a way, but perhaps catalyzed or highlighted by this subtle influence the source talks about.
That's a good way to put it, like finding a pattern that was always there, but you suddenly see it clearly.
So how does the source see this umodel.org working? It calls it a global system, but stresses coordination, not control. What does that actually look like?
Well, that's a really critical distinction the source makes. It's framed as a distributed system, meant to help with planetary balance, human cooperation, not enforce some rigid top-down structure.
Okay.
It suggests things like dynamic feedback loops for tracking global resources, transparent decision-making based on ecological and human needs, decentralized networks, empowering local action, but fostering global harmony.
Right, aligning what we do with the planet's health and our collective well-being. The source uses images like the world turtle carrying the future responsibly.
Yeah, those potent images help convey the vision.
Okay, so shifting gears just a bit, Voyager. The source brings up Voyager and its golden disk, our message in a bottle to the cosmos. And it makes a really fascinating claim about its signals.
It does. It suggests that some of the, let's say, unusual data patterns or glitches observed in Voyager's signal weren't random.
Not random.
The source proposes that these guardians might have occasionally touched the signals as Voyager passed through their domain.
Touch them? What does the source imply by that? What would that even mean?
Well, the narrative hints it wasn't about adding new data necessarily, more like subtle resonances, maybe weaving in non-random patterns, harmonies almost.
Like a melody hidden in the static?
Something like that, like a distant echo, a cosmic nod, acknowledging that humanity's outreach, sending Voyager, had been noticed, appreciated even.
So this whole story the source tells, it leads to a point where Earth starts embracing these umodel.org principles, healing its systems, finding unity, and then something amazing happens. Voyager sends a new signal.
Yes, but this time the source posits the signal isn't just touched by guardians, it's a response.
A response. From
another civilization.
Yeah.
One that's apparently been observing Earth's transformation from afar and sees, that the planet is finally ready.
And the source paints this contact not as scary, but as joyful, a welcome.
A triumph, yeah. Because in this narrative, by building something like umodel.org, achieving that global coordination and balance, Earth hasn't just built a bridge between its own people. It's built a bridge to the wider cosmic community.
The golden disk as the first hand reaching out.
Exactly. And umodel.org becomes the proof, the testament that humanity had the wisdom to take that inspiration and build a harmonious world, a world ready for connection.
It's quite a narrative arc laid out here, suggesting cosmic readiness really hinges on getting our own house in order, planetary unity humanity, wise management.
Yeah, the implication in the source is that this kind of global coordination wasn't just about saving ourselves. It was the essential step to show we could be, responsible members of a larger community.
Which really leaves you, the listener, with a pretty powerful question to think about based on this material. If this story holds any truth, if becoming ready for cosmic contact really does require this deep level of global unity and intelligent planetary coordination, what does that specific requirement imply about the nature and the urgency of the challenges we're facing right here, right now on Earth?